Hey everyone, Nova Destruct Zero here, and we have the final trial on first week of season 8 of Cosmic Crucible. And my opponent, let's see, I'm going with a neck. That's all I got. He has a TCP of 74 million, STP of 3.5 million. Let's get into it.
All right. So, I do have a lot of science for you, lovely people, this time around. And I actually took some things off defense, and so I had it available for offense because, as you saw in my last video, there wasn't any replays. So, I wanted to make sure that I got an attack in with Mercs for money, and then you could see it. Let's take a look at some of the attack results. So, in my first battle, I am attacking a Secret Defenders, Black Knight, and Dorm combination in the first room field medic. And I initially go in with Tangle Web 2, Nova, and BTS and APOC. Wasn't able to get that done, but I came back with APOC, Secret Defenders, and Black BTS. BTS is there to do the ultimate and try to get the taunt off, which I didn't get. So that kind of actually made the battle a little bit harder and longer, which is just a little RNG factor that you just have to account for. We were still able to get it done. As you can see there, BTS doesn't get that taunt off of Black Knight, and Hardlight ults into me. I ult into Hardlight. I end up with the taunt still on. The taunt is off of the opponent, and that is key because it allows me to um, get be able to target where we want to. And so I targeted Robbie, and because Robbie, who had like 4 charges, wanted to knock those charges off, even though I didn't stun him. Ultimate on Black Knight to get that ability block from Robbie. And with the special of BTS, you can actually take off revive onces. Keep that in mind. APOC gets his ultimate off and then targets Black Knight for the empowered move and deletes Black Knight. And from there, it is just getting the rest of the team out of there because Black Knight is definitely the show. And good old Black Cat with all these wonderful lives. You just have to keep going through the death proofs. On a side note, Minerva has a move where she can actually kill through all those death proofs, um, which is shown in another counter that was done last season against Lizard. And I'm sorry, it's in the MSF counters spreadsheet from last season. So sorry, I don't remember exactly who that was initially. And in stage 2, like I said, I was able to get Mercs for money, the full team, and I was able to use them to attack into Mercs for money with Noir. and they don't have death pool on defense. And so this counter actually goes pretty well. Dawkin does his thing, pulls the opposing Dawkin out of stealth with his ability. And unfortunately, my death pool gets stunned by the opposing Logan, but I was able to do the same to the Panda pool. And now bleeds are everywhere. This is a very bloody battle. So we're working with a lot more damage as a team, as a whole. Um, but what ends up turning the tide, making the difference? You got all these revive onces. I am able to get the ult off on the opposing old man Logan, and puts the trauma disrupt on him. Um, and he has that revive once still, but this ability by Dawkins actually was pretty powerful, and takes away old man Logan's first life. And so we were able to just go through the team like butter afterwards. The full team is definitely better than the team without Death Pool, because I think this was pretty much a straight um, punch across. And so we're just getting through the rest of Pandapool's life. Pandapool, uh, when Pandapool gets up to more stars, it's going to be like hell trying to get Pandapool down. Just self healing and reviving ability. Stage 3, we are attacking into the Infinity Watch Quicksilver comp, and I actually bring in new warriors without Deathpool, because Deathpool is with Mercs for Money, and bringing Kestrel in its place, still able to deal with this team relatively well. Gwenpool does her special, is able to turn some of the positive buffs on Quicksilver. I immediately delete the Gamora on the other team, and oh, Kestrel's ability does not allow anyone to revive in her ultimate, so she didn't get the other life. And so without Gamora, Infinity Watch's ability to do any real damage is really, really weakened. Keshel's passive, I brought her so that she can prevent Scarlet Witch from coming down. Once Quicksilver gets down below 50%, Scarlet Witch summons. And so Keshel's passive basically prevented Scarlet Witch from coming there, healing up the team, and prolonging this fight. And then from after Quicksilver is deleted, we just have the remaining 3. And so that actually went by pretty well without Deathpool, but at the cost of Pegasus. If you needed Pegasus, I used Kestrel. So, and in 4, we went in with Spider Society. Tried to go in with, and this was one of those science movies for sure. I just wanted to try the New Warriors team, but I wanted to try Vol out. I really didn't bother like calculating speed or anything like that. And that did not work out. So I came back in with Eternals, Tangled Web, and Emma, and that is a more proven counter. Um, the ultimate for 2099 goes, and we're able to flip some of those buffs. The ultimate from Spider Weaver puts Peter B in the stun, takes away one of his turns. And because Captain Sam is on the defense in place of um, Pav and was pretty weak, the ultimate from Icarus just deletes Sam immediately because I think he had a defense down as well, and so was able to let him two tap, and the two tap from Icarus, and then the ultimate from Cersei, and that it was pretty much over. You know, the Spider Societies right now aren't overly too huge, and bringing Sam, I don't understand that one to be honest. Um, because Sam did nothing in the previous fight, it was all Spider Society as well. And so in this stage, this is stage 5. You have the Superior Six full going against. I bring in Cabal, Doom, and Omega Red, and of course, due to the speed, you get the ult from Green Goblin. Does quite a bit of damage in the rewinding. And Lizard brings all the buffs for the team, and then Craven goes. So that is a lot of damage Cabal is enduring. Basically, the whole team of Superior Six is able to go. Doom is down really low. Everybody, but because they're all villains, they all have revived onces as well. I think Omega Red's going to end up getting deleted here and be on his last leg here, his last life. But once Superior Six goes, it's only a matter of time. Cabal, Namor did his ultimate and does big damage and rewinds the team. That gives the momentum switch back, and does good damage to Omega Red. But Omega Red is still hanging around. But Lizard triggers the ultimate from Doom, which is why Doom is there in the middle. And because he has the two lives, he gets it off even though he dies. And so once he gets his ult off, it deletes everyone. And so everybody's in their last life now. The power that Cabal brings to the team with the extra damage is pretty insane. And so it is literally just cleaning up the rest of the team with no buffs whatsoever on from the revive. So, um, yeah, Cabal this season, they're your fix all. I do like bringing Doom and Omega Red. They do pretty well together. We next attack um, Extreme X in 3. I mean, sorry, in 6. And I brought in MOE Nova the first time. Um, and that wasn't able to get it done. Um, Also, where I targeted the first, I actually targeted Nightcrawler first last time, and I wanted to see if I could target Rogue and just get her down and out of there because she wasn't that big, and see if that would make a difference. But we still ran out of firepower. Wasn't really able to get Rogue. I'm sorry, Forge um, down enough, and Forge basically does his thing where he gives all the buffs and heals up all the team, and just gives them amazing sustainability for the rest of this match. Um, and because of the room's rules, Gambit gets off his ult and flips all of our buffs and does some pretty good damage. And my special from Nova did not land to get a stun on Forge, and that was unfortunate because that would be the main reason why it ends. Kang doesn't kill anybody with his ult, so those are all your RNG factors and things that can go wrong uh, that kept this um, from being a factor, being a good solution. So, and the team, they have great sustainability, and their pings just, from Cyclops and Gambit, it becomes a lot in Forge. So they were able to get through MOE. Um, Unfortunately, Forge is also able to get back around to his ult, which we'll see in the next fight, the final fight, where his and I ran out of also firepower. I don't have a lot of options left on left to attack with good options, and so I ended up bringing Undying, Vulture, and um, MLF, and MLF gets deleted pretty early on, and Vulture is also um, um, deleted relatively early on as well, and so it just left Undying for the rest. And Undying, they just don't pack enough of a punch, and Extreme X, even with the exhaust from the loss, they uh, have the evades and the defense ups, and so um, just super unfortunate. MLF right there did not flip all the buffs on Forge, and so Forge has the defense up still and the speed up, and so now he gets the regens and the deflect. Um, the team just kept healing up and attacking and pinging away the team. So this bout goes on forever, uh, to say the least. Um, but from here, there's nothing else. Once MLF and Vulture dies, uh, there's not enough firepower to really get through the team. So there went MLF, and the ultimate from Zombie Iron Man. Um, it's not War. I think in War he's able to take off the charges for Cyclops. So it prevents Cyclops from doing this ult if he's able to take those charges off. But wishful thinking, because he does get his ult off if I'm not mistaken. So we were able to actually get Gambit out of there from constant pings, but because Forge is Forge and Forge does what he does, he is actually able to do his ability again and bring Gambit back. So, like I said, this battle goes on forever. This battle is actually going to timeout, so we're just going to go ahead and speed it up, and we're going to take a look at some of the defensive results. In the first battle, we have on defense is Infinity Watch Quicksilver, and my opponent brings in BTS Weaver, Tangle Web 2, Shang-Chi, and Omega Red. And, there's a lot of options to beat Infinity Watch. Like, it's just about, how efficient you can get it done. And so this team, more than enough to deal with Infinity Watch. So he was able to one-shot it. Alright. They lose one character, but one tune and Shang-Chi, but still able to get it done. In room 2, blood transfusion, I have on defense Spider Society, and my opponent probably does a little bit overkill, but does get the job done with Hive Mind APOC. Just a proven counter from last season, so why not do it here if you can? And so he did. And in stage 3, I have Extreme Rogue with Dorm, and it is kind of an MOE trap, so I was surprised to see my opponent bring MOE in with this. But kind of like myself in the 6th stage with my attacks, giving extra lives to a team that sustains well already is a problem for MOE. So, especially a good size Extreme Rogue. But my opponent does a pretty good job. He gets, I think he gets two members out of there. Most importantly, in the first attack, he gets out Forge, which is very important for any subsequent cleanup efforts. Nightcrawler's ability. So the first step in King getting ability here, but I think King's one of the last ones to go. Even though he usually is pretty soft, especially without buffs. And that ultimate cleaned it off of MOE pretty good as far as the positive buffs there. Absorbing Man is doing all the work. He is hanging in there. But Rogue said enough of these shenanigans with her ultimate and basically just deletes the team. Kang still surviving. That is a huge Kang. That Kang is a survivor. Alright. Cleanup effort. Alright, this next battle on defense, I have Black Knight and Out of Time. And so the full Out of Time team, and my opponent is attacking with Out of Time without Black Knight and has Venom as well. And I think it's just a sack, which as far as sacks go, I mean, if you're going to attack him out of time, you send the remaining members because he's using Black Knight elsewhere. So, and he used, I think, Sus Hive Mind. Hive Mind APOC. So he had Venom, which was leftover. So he just uses leftover tunes for the sack. Gotta love the efficiency. Well, he comes back in with Eternals Nova, MLF, and Vulture, and dispatches of the team. So kudos to my opponent on the sack. And stage 5, my opponent was able to one-shot it, and I love the ideal here. This is actually he had the ideal of what I was talking about with Minerva, to actually delete Lizard at the end because he tends to have a lot of death proofs. He positions Doom next to Sus, and so with the Sus attacks at the beginning draws Green Goblin to attack, and so Green Goblin pings down Doom to below 50%. Doom takes a turn, and he does his ultimate, which does well in getting the team down and but it doesn't work out the way that he wants to um, in his first attack. But the second attack, he came back in. Um, and with Vol was a decent addition to it. Vol was actually able to get his charges up towards the end. Green Goblin deletes Minerva, and Lizard does some work here too. The team is falling left and right. So Superior 6 is doing well, but I think my team has my opponent has some good RNG in that the surviving members there were able to be enough to get it done. But Vol at the end also brings back the dead characters. So yeah, from a healthy character standpoint on efficiency, does manage to avoid having two dead characters there at the end for the efficiency. So, like I said, kudos to my opponent. On defense, I have Hive Mind Sus, and my opponent brings Cabal with Emma and Nick Fury. Just gives them the extra speed at the beginning. They still get get ability blocked and by Void Knight, but Namor is able to go and just rewind the whole team. From an RNG standpoint, if Namor is ability blocked early, it might have taken a little bit longer, but I think this counter still would have worked. So clean counter, ended pretty quickly. Like and subscribe. Thanks everyone. Nova Destruct 0 out.